Okay, so now I've got the Seattle Seahawks mock draft. They don't have a bunch of picks because they sent their whole draft for the next 10 billion years to the Jets for Blitz boy safety Jamal Adams. So yeah, it won't be the best mock draft, but I'll spend some time on the free agents then because they did do some stuff. So well, lost more than they did. So Jerron Reed, who's a pretty good defensive tackle for them for like the past couple years because he wasn't really anything before that, but then kind of broke out. He signed with the Chiefs. Damn, look at that contract. Why that like really in depth? How do they get to 647? Like that's so random. He goes to the Chiefs, so that's kind of a bit of a loss. It's only 2 million. I'm surprised I couldn't get him back for like something better than that. And then they lost Shaquille Griffin. Like with this contract, there was no chance they were gonna get him back. They probably would have wanted to get him back because their cornerback group is very weak now. But he signs for $40 million in Jacksonville, so he got paid. They did get Carlos Dunlap back, who played pretty well for them last year when he got traded to them from the Bengals. Thing is, they like cut him, and then he was going on like rants and stuff like, "Can't believe I got cut," and then he gets re-signed for 13 million 2 years. So yeah, and then Chris Carson gets re-signed for Christopher Carson. They put his whole name for 10 million. That's a pretty good contract. It is if he stays healthy though. Then it will be a good contract. He's a pretty good running back, so I don't think that's too bad of a contract for him. They also re-signed Benson Mayo, kind of just a rotational pass rusher. He's good at times, so that's not too bad of a contract. And then they signed Kerry Hyder from the 49ers, had a bit of a breakout year. Like, had quite a lot of production. He is 30. Had no idea he was 30. I thought he was really young. But they signed him 3 years, 6 million. So 2.2 a year, so that isn't too bad of a contract, so I like that. And then Gerald Everett, he signs with them also. They get him for pretty cheap. It's probably a prove it year for Gerald Everett. He'll probably play a year here and then try and get big money elsewhere when the money goes up. So you just take a 1 year contract to really see what he can do as a number one tight end kind of in that passing kind of offense with Russell Wilson. You think it's Russell Wilson. I mean, I don't really see them trading him now. Then they lost David Moore, who's a pretty good wide receiver, but it's not too big of a loss because he's David Moore, and like you can easily replace that in the draft. Carlos Hyde, he's kind of the backup. He was kind of more of the starter most times last year because of the injuries, but yeah. Then re-signed their fullback Nick Ballore, who's a pretty good special teamer, and come in the goal line and stuff and be a fullback. They're not really that valuable. So they signed him. And then they signed Ahkello Witherspoon to try and get some corners into that team because they really need cornerback. And he's an alright cornerback. He was injured a lot last year. I think he pretty much missed the whole season, I believe. But he's a pretty good corner, to be honest. In that 49ers team he was. And he's young, so they get him for $4 million. And I think that's probably needed. Then Al Woods, this guy like a run-stopping big D tackle to replace Jerron Reed. We signed Ethan Posick. I mean, he's not really that good, but they need more linemen. Then we signed their tackle. Also re-signed a guard. Just depth players. Then Jacob Hollister left, but they got players. Phil Desai was injured a lot. Quinton Dunbar, they lost him. It's probably a bit of a loss because they need cornerbacks. He actually was playing pretty decently. So yeah. And then yeah, there's not really much. KJ Wright still to be determined. He could they probably might want to bring him back. He's still a pretty good linebacker. He is kind of he is aging obviously, but he still has a bit of production. And then they got some other players like Michael Paddy, who isn't anything really, just not very good. Always been like just a when you don't have guards or anything, you just get him. Josh Gordon, I don't know. You'll see if they bring him back, bro. He was playing in that fan-controlled football league and everything. You never know. They could maybe try and bring him back. Same with Damaris Randall, just like good special teamer, and we'll like a quality starter for sometimes. Chad Wheeler, hell nah, he just likes to beat women. And then just some other people, so yeah. What was I gonna go on? I mean, I guess I was going to drop out. I was gonna do something. I just want to see all their corners, but I just can't be bothered now. You know, we might have to sit here for a while. I'm pretty sure our first pick's the third round. So I'm just watching my Pat McAfee on the screen, so that's why I probably get distracted sometimes and just don't speak for like 5 seconds because I got something blaring in my ear at the same time. So yeah. Well, I'm just drinking some H2O. I think big needs, cornerback, maybe another receiver, O-line, definitely. Maybe another pass rusher. That's not as big of a need. Yeah. There's a lot of ways they could go, but definitely O-line, secondary, like cornerbacks, and yep. Oh, we got a second round pick. I thought it was a third round pick. I was tripping then. Damn, Wyatt Davis still on the board. That's probably a pretty easy pick, to be honest. I'll just take the other interior players. Quinn Minehurst would be nice, but no, you know what? Quinn Minehurst, man, what a beast. I feel like he's gonna be a really good player. He needs a lot of development, but Quinn Minehurst, man, that pro day, he's such an athlete. Imagine him in the run game just sprinting up the field or an outside zone or something. He just runs around, meets a player, just crushes them. He's just a monster. And they need interior offensive linemen to really help themselves out. Tackle isn't as big of a need, but you could improve, and you got aging players there. But Quinn Minehurst, man, what a monster. That's kind of the only way you can describe him, just an absolute beast. Just a beast. I probably want to go corner with with the next pick before all the good players go off the board. Because we need value, but they are kind of all going off the board right now. Come on. I want to pick someday. If Trey Brown or any, like, Trey Brown is here, I'd like that. Or Israel, if he's still there. Oh, no, Trey Brown. Come on, please. You don't need it. You don't need it. Holy jeez, that was close. I mean, I gotta go cornerback, but I'm just gonna check everybody else because Patrick Jones would probably be nice, but they need cornerback. Trey Brown's here, so Trey Brown, he was pretty good at Oklahoma. He'll probably need to maybe start for them straight away because their cornerback room, they just lost a lot of people. They did get like a Kella Witherspoon, but kind of outside the bat, they don't really have much, so you really need corner badly. And yeah, Trey Brown would fix that. Well, not fix it, because you could just be an absolute bust, but he's actually a pretty decent cornerback. So I'm looking maybe edge or receiver with the next pick. Dude, how much picks do we have? Like 3 or something? Like, jeez. The Seahawks, man, I'm just saying, they're kind of in the dumps. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't have a lot of cap room, and they have like no draft pick for the next like 2 or 3 years. Seahawks, man, when was the last time you had a first round pick? I feel like they haven't had one in ages, it feels like. And I'm just watching all these players go off the board, and it's not good. Oh my god, I should have put this on fast. They've had 2 picks so far. Jeez, the Seahawks, man. 2 players out of your however many players you can have on your team is like 70 odd for preseason. Seahawks. You're such a dumps. Man, trade Russell Wilson, get some draft picks, because you got none. I mean, I'm not saying do that, but like, you would get a lot of picks. You would. Oh, I want to pick a receiver. Or an edge defender. Wow, Seattle Seahawks mock draft. Ha 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 ha. Good idea. One more pick. It's getting nervous. I wasn't gonna have any more picks. How is Sage Surratt still on the board? Holy Jesus. That was fantastic, man. The Seattle Seahawks, you really hit this draft out of the parks. I cannot lie. Like, you guys really killed it. Chris Rumpf is a nice player. But I think they'll try and make their players develop. So I'm going to pick a receiver. Kate Johnson not going to be here. Austin Watkins not going to be here. I think a person that's probably pretty realistically like around this area is Josh Palmer. He had horrible quarterback play, so I think he can still be a pretty good player, and I'll talk about it when we actually get onto the pick. So, damn, look at this mock draft, Seahawks. Well done, you really killed it. But they did get 3 pretty good players, but that's not really going to help that much. Quinn Meinerz, you improved that O-line. He probably does need to improve on his pass protection. I mean, of course, he's dominating everybody at his Division 3 school, Wisconsin Whitewater. But so it will be kind of a learning curve when he gets into the NFL, but he definitely has all the potential and is just a beast. And then you get Trey Brown. You really need corner badly. And he can be a starter. I mean, he could play outside and the inside. So, yeah, that's a pretty good pick. And then Josh Palmer. He's a pretty good receiver in Tennessee, but of course, since they have horrible quarterbacks there, he just didn't really get the ball, so it's kind of unfortunate. But I really like him as a player. And he's got a lot of potential to be a pretty big steal just because if you don't have a good quarterback, then you're not going to get the ball. So, yeah. So, let's wrap this amazing mock draft up, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I get like 1 million views.